Welcome to Last Time Online. This episode is brought to you by Dogma Games, my very own game studio. I'm currently working on my first game called Wake Out of Twilight. Wake Out of Twilight is a 2D platformer game based in a futuristic dystopia where nearly all parts of life are automated. Life couldn't get any easier, but the price to pay was more than anybody agreed to. Navigate through traps, obstacles, and puzzles in order to save everybody from the nightmare. If you would like to be the first to know when I have updates or when the game is releasing, you can go to Steam and wishlist the game. Now, let's get on with the episode. What's up, gamers? Welcome to Last Time Online, the nerdy podcast on the internet. And I am George, and today we are joined by Jonathan.
What's up?
Alvaro.
Doing it to death.
And Max.
Hi, Shakira.
Yep. And oh, I see what you did there. the real fans are gonna know it.
Gotta make my moves. Gotta make my moves.
The fans of The Sims are gonna know what that means. Look it up. Look it up on the internet. I'm not gonna. I don't want to explain it, but look it up. And then, anyway, so yeah, for our nerd report this week, I normally start it off, and this week I'm kind of piggybacking off of the high. I'm still on the high of Top Gun Maverick. Still trying to fly jets everywhere. So I switched over from Microsoft Flight Simulator and I moved to Battlefield 2042. And I tried really hard to get good at the jets in that game, but I just couldn't. Like, the jets are not what they used to be. Like, I remember I used to kind of be good in Battlefield 3, but they've changed a lot now. So yeah, I got like kind of good enough where I can kind of take down some stuff, and shortly figured out that helicopters are much better in that game anyway. So I wasted all that time learning how to play jets, and yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. Just
You never fly for shit in any of those games.
Yeah, I don't fly at all.
yeah. So I did find a game on Xbox that I'm going to download soon though. That it's called Wingman, and I think I was looking for an Ace Combat game, but they didn't have one on Game Pass, so I was
Just buy Ace Combat. It's always on sale. It was like $8 last week.
yeah. Well, I think
Yeah.
Wingman is actually a more recent game though, so I was looking at that one, so I'll check both of them because I used to play Ace Combat on the PS2.
Ace Combat 7 is amazing. It's
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I will not
And
play.
they also have Top Gun DLC, but I think it's like $20. So if you
Well,
really
since-
want to go for that stuff,
Since you said that, I will check it out then. Ace Combat 7
Yeah.
versus I think it's called The Wingman, and I'll check both of those out. And I'll make a decision, and then I'll probably come back next week and say, I'm a jet fighter. I'm coming after.
you tell me I'm wrong.
I know. Cast me. No, cast me in the next Top Gun. I'm ready. I'll be. I'll come up with a cool call sign for myself. But anyway, and then besides that, I have been working on my video game, Wake Out of Twilight, and I've been mentioning kind of vaguely that I'm going to have a demo out for it soon, and the official date for the demo is going to release on the 20th. So by the time this comes out, it's going to be in 10 days after this podcast comes out. So yeah, that's going to be the demo, and I'm currently trying to configure the builds and fixing up some final bugs, and I'm very excited for that. I hope everybody plays it.
I will be there.
Yeah, and then getting ready for my launch. I still want to make a trailer for it, which is like very late notice, but I think it'd be really cool because it looks a lot different than like what I've recently put online and stuff. So, yeah, and that is about it. I'm kind of stressing over my game right now. Like I thought I was like ready to like put it out on the demo, right? I'm like, it's fine, and then I'm like, oh, there's this little bug that I should fix. There's this little bug I should fix. There's all these things I should fix. Yeah, but
That's why we try it out. See if anything's wrong with it.
yeah, the whole thing, everything's wrong with it. Cancel the game. That's what I'm. As soon as it releases on the demo, that's pretty much what I'm gonna be thinking. I'm sure.
Cancel the game.
Yeah, and well, that's it for me. I mean, I think it's really exciting, but it's hard for me to show it right now because I'm freaking nervous and anxious right now. So, yeah. And that's my nerd report. So let's go on to Max.
For me, This past week on Friday, a few of us went to Gallo. It's the not local. It's about 20 minutes away, but it's a theater where the Modesto Symphony did Star Wars. They screened A New Hope, and they did all the music live to it, and it was very wonderful. As for stuff I watched the recent episode of Obi-Wan. Still like it. Starting to see little issues when it comes to what they're not the story, but how they filmed it.
Okay.
Because a lot of the sequences I noticed where people are running, it looks awful. Because I think you can tell that they're just on a tiny stage, so they don't want to run too fast. Because I noticed that in the first episode, when someone is being chased through the forest, the people chasing said character, you can tell they're trying to not run quickly to catch up to the child, and it looks pretty goofy. And then in this one, when Reva is running towards a ship that's taking off, it doesn't look right. It looks like she's trying to look like she's running fast, but she's not really running fast.
And
I think it's because it's
small steps.
Yeah, and I think it's because they're in a studio and she can only run in one direction a certain distance before she runs into a wall. But as for the story, I still like it. Seen a lot of whiners saying that it's ruining Obi-Wan and it's ruining the usual Star Wars nonsense idiots.
My continuity, my canon.
Yeah. Then this morning I watched the first episode of Miss Marvel because it started today.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty good. It had a lot of Spider-Man vibes.
Okay.
Like it's jokey, but it was a nice start. It's a nice show, and they seem to reference Jonathan's favorite Captain Marvel a good amount in the first episode. So I know he'll be excited to watch it. Did you watch it, Jonathan?
Probably your
I don't
hero.
think he's going to.
What? Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I didn't get a chance. I had to water the plants before the podcast, but I'll watch it later. Either tonight, or tomorrow.
And I was catching up on some stuff that I hadn't seen in a while, so I finally watched Turning Red, which I liked. It was good. It was a nice movie. People were stupid. Bunch of haters everywhere.
Yep.
It was a nice, pleasant movie. Kind of goes kind of nuts in the climax of the movie a bit, but hey, it's cool. I mean, it's
That's why I call it a climax.
Yeah, but it's kind of
definitely.
But I mean, it was kind of what the movie was about and what it was leading to. I will transition from that to I finished watching the Hulu show Pam and Tommy, which was the show about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's sex tape that got out.
How is that?
I thought it was surprisingly good, and it started off funny, but it actually gets kind of sad because you kind of find out that she kind of just got fucked over by the videotape because she did nothing wrong for it to get released, and she kind of started to get judged from there. But it's a good watch.
That's one of those shows that like I actually really did want to watch that show, but
it's a quick one. I think it was only like
6 episodes, right?
Yeah, it's short.
Yeah.
Then the longest one's only like 45 minutes, so it's a quick watch.
Okay.
I know the internet was really raving about it.
I think I need to take a break from just like Marvel stuff to give myself room to watch like this stuff that I don't watch because Marvel's just taking up time. You know what I mean? Because I really did want to watch that one actually.
Marvel and Star Wars, that's your life now.
Yeah,
I know, Marvel and Star Wars for real.
But yeah, it was a very solid show. I was kind of surprised.
And then they gave his thing a voice. Was that true or no?
In the show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it like a constant thing or just like a one-off?
It's a quick thing in the first episode because he's having certain feelings that his pee-pee does not like because his pee-pee likes traveling around from lady to lady.
Oh.
And it makes it even funnier because it's voiced by Jason Mantzoukas, which cracked me up. I was gonna recommend a show, but it got canceled. But I will still recommend it. It's called Raised by Wolves. It was a HBO Max TV show that they just canceled. Incredibly original. and I think that's why no one watched it because it's a little slow at points, but very original, very creative. And then of course they had to leave off the final episode on a pretty crazy cliffhanger on the story. So I'm very excited that that will never get resolved. And then lastly, today I watched the recent Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, because Redbox had the rental for 99 cents. So I figured
Why
it's
not?
99 cents. And I think I overpaid.
No. What?
It was so boring. Like it was
Oh my
not
God.
interesting at all. It was just like super generic. It reminded me of like a straight to video movie, but that they
Wow.
released in theaters because it was called Resident Evil, so they knew some of the fans would go watch it. Did you like it?
Yes.
Oh
It's
God.
very. It's you clearly don't play the games. You
No, I
clearly
do
don't.
not play the games.
You clearly don't own an air
He's
fryer.
he just wants the old crappy ones that they've been shoveling out the door the last 10 years.
I've
Yeah,
seen
sorry it doesn't
all.
have Mila in it,
Hey,
but it's like the most accurate Resident Evil. I'm not saying it's a great movie, but it's accurate to the game.
I've seen every Resident Evil movie, and I think I've liked 2 of them. So, why do I still watch them? I don't know. But it was 99 cents,
Familia.
and I figured, why not?
It was 99 cents.
Yeah, it was 99 cents, but yeah, I really did not like it. I thought it was super bland.
Damn.
Sorry,
Cost you 99 cents in 2 hours.
I just
Yeah.
think of thrift
It's an hour and a
shop.
half.
It was an hour and 47 minutes to be exact.
Okay.
And I know that because about every 15, I would check to see how much longer the movie.
Oh
had.
yeah,
Oh.
I've had a few movies that I've done that. And
That's rough.
Yeah. I was not a fan.
a few Bollywood movies I've seen. But I've
That's
checked
only
out.
2 hours in. Got another hour to go.
I know.
But yeah, other than that, that was my week of media consumption.
Woo.
It's a lot.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you're going back to your
Languages.
Star Wars thing though. That's probably like peak nerdiness. I'm a little jealous.
What?
Right? To go watch.
Oh, watching it at the concert?
Yeah, watching
Oh,
a Star
yeah.
Wars movie and the concert basically at the same time. That's cool.
Hey, you know what? Everyone can knock the movies all they want, but the music's great.
Oh yeah.
It's the best
Undeniably.
part.
I guess for some of the movies, I guess depending on which movie you're watching, it could be the best part.
I
yeah.
mean, it's the most consistent thing across all the movies.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I would say that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool then. Moving on. How
Awesome.
about Alvaro? Are you playing a video game right now?
No,
Yeah.
I was looking at Disney Plus's new stuff,
Oh.
and there was one that looks like a Korean drama, but it's in English, so I'm gonna watch it.
Okay. Okay. Alvaro.
Jesus Christ. I haven't done a whole lot of gaming. Work's been fucking brutal. Like, we had the day off for Memorial Day. We had Monday off, but I had to go in and work Saturday, so that totally limited my time. As Max mentioned, I did go with him to see the Star Wars thing, and it's really cool. We've done one before, right?
Like
Back in
that?
Comic-Con.
No, this is the first time I've ever at
Um,
At
What am I
Comic-Con,
thinking of?
I went to Video
Comic-Con-
Games Live at Comic.
yeah, Comic-Con they did the Danny Elfman music, but it was just different songs from different movies. It wasn't just the movie.
I can't remember. I know I did something like that at Comic-Con. I can't remember what it was for, but yeah. So that was fun. I did take the time to go see the David Cronenberg movie, Crimes of the Future. I wish I liked it more because it has a lot of good ideas, but it doesn't really execute on them, and it doesn't go far enough as far as like gore and stuff, which is funny because you always see reports of people freaking out and like,
Yeah.
oh, it's too bloody, or like,
Wait, why does that sound
throwing
familiar
up
now?
or whatever.
Crimes of Our Future. What's that about? Is that
It's pretty
the one
much
where they don't feel pain? Is that the one?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no pain, and like the body has evolved enough to like they need other ways to stimulate themselves,
Okay.
and and Kristen Stewart has the line of surgery is the new sex. So like that's like their, and like they put like, not everyone does it, but like they have like Viggo Mortensen and Lea Seydoux, they have like this performance art kind of thing going on. and people go watch them. And, like she like cuts into him, and like they're it's weird, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't know. For me, it doesn't go. It asks a lot of good questions, but it doesn't do anything about it. Like, and by the end of the movie, it's like it just ends, and like oh, okay, I guess that's it. Like, there was like a lot of loose ends that could have resolved, and they didn't. But the music's good. Howard Shore did the soundtrack, and it's really good. It's not even on Spotify yet, which is sad. But other than that, jeez, what else have I done? I checked out the new Horizon patch for 60 frames.
Oh.
It's really good. They fixed like all they had like shimmering like graphical issues, and that's all been fixed. So like, I think 60 is definitely the way to play it now. I think it's almost I don't want to say unplayable. You can still play at 30 frames, but it's like it's not 60. It just holds so much better now. Like I would say just play it that way. I did try Tribes of Midgard.
Mhm.
It was nice to play with people that know what they're doing because I had no idea. Like, I'm not really into like survival type of games, but like
That shit's hard.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard.
Like if I'm playing with people that know, like oh, you can just tell me, oh, could do this, do this, do this. Like okay, I can do it. But yeah, it's like it's very like not necessarily like a Minecraft, but more like oh, what's that game called?
It's kind of like that one game that.
Don't Starve.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
But
one
with
that reminds me
Vikings.
of. Yeah, and like the runs are fairly quick. But you can get wrecked pretty fast if you're not on it.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, if you're not
so,
paying
like
attention.
it's almost like the kinds of like it has like everyone has like their own like little job to do, I guess. So it's almost like Among Us in a way,
Okay.
but you don't screw each other over, obviously.
Yeah. It leads
So
into
yeah,
that tribe thing because you can have up to 10
yeah,
people playing at once.
yeah. So um, I might check that out more. I'm still just waiting on Fall Guys to get their update going. I know Battlefield has a new update this week. I'll be starting that. Get my $100 worth. Um, and then, God, I think I'm missing something. Well, we have Summer Games Fest tomorrow, so we'll be doing that and reacting accordingly. Hopefully,
Just something
our
good.
yeah, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't expect anything major since, that's already been established that it's most stuff that's already been announced.
Mostly. I mean, as long as it has like one or two cool things that we don't know about that haven't been leaked,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
But yeah, it's been my week. It's not the most exciting, but had some fun here and there.
All right. And Jonathan's last. Close it out for us.
Woo. Yeah, your shirt is like doing things.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like textured, like
Yeah.
it's kind of like one of those. It's
When you move back and forth, it like changes
Oh, that's
colors.
cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's giving like a sick effect on the
On
the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's enchanting and distracting all at the same time.
I'm gonna put you and our listeners or our viewers to sleep.
This week I didn't really do a lot. I did some housework and learned that fire solves a good amount of issues. We got one of those dragon breath attachments, hook up to a propane tank and torch the floor so we can melt the glue and scrape it off. But as far as free time, I've been just watching King of the Hill. Almost done. Got about a season and a half left. I think I'm in the middle of season 12, and there's 13 seasons. It's held up pretty well. I think it's aged incredibly well. Like even, I mean, besides the technology, like I feel like that's the only like thing throughout the show that kind of dates it. But a lot of the topics that they talk about are still relevant to today. Um, but I mean, the show ran. I didn't realize it ran to that late, but it ended in 2010, which is still pretty recent.
That far?
that was 12 years
Yeah,
ago.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it would have been done at like 03.
Yeah, no, it started. It ran for 13 years. It started at before, before 2000,
What,
because
97,
there
98?
there was even there was a Y2K episode in like the second season,
Yeah.
which was hilarious. But yeah, by the time the show ends, it's already 2010, so it's still relevant. Um, and it's weird because you see a lot of the characters, how much they kind of shift they're really front loaded in the beginning, and then they just kind of drift out, and it's mainly just like, Bobby, Peggy, and Hank, and like the Super Nuisanpones, they kind of just like, there's some dedicated episodes to them, but mainly when they're in there, they come in for like a quick insult, and then that's like their whole episode thing. And Connie is like non-existent, like in the later half of the show. John Redcorn's pretty much gone too, but it's still really good. And there was rumors about all the stuff. A comeback. The Beavis and Butthead stuff just released on Paramount Plus. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Is that already out?
yeah, it just came out, I think, this past week. It's like
Yeah,
Beavis.
because I am interested in that, because it's been a long time, and I know that they have the music videos attached too. So like that's like something that hasn't happened since they aired.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very curious about it.
Is the movie
I
out
might as
already?
well. I don't know about the movie.
It's a show though, right?
No, they're doing a movie too.
Okay, because when I seen people talk about the Beavis and Butthead stuff, like when they brought it back the second time, it was Beavis and Butthead young in the current time, at the time that it released, and then this one is the original Beavis and Butthead aged, correct? So like, what they would be like if they were teenagers when the original release, and now they're what, like 30 something years old in this new one.
So what, they're going the South Park route?
Yeah, I think.
All I know is I laughed a lot at that trailer because it's very immature.
And there was on a small tangent, there was a Beavis and Butthead reference in that Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie also.
How many times do you watch that?
I only watched it the one time, but it's a one of, like I said, one of the visual gags that if it's a blink and you miss, they're like walking down the street, and it's Beavis is I didn't watch Beavis and Butthead, so Beavis is the brown haired one, right? And Butthead is the blonde, or is it reverse?
Reverse.
Yeah.
Beavis is the blonde, Butthead has the huge forehead.
Okay, so there's a bus bench that shows Butthead running for congressman, and so it's a like a political ad that's relevant to the story. But yeah, it's that one made me laugh. But anyway, so King of the Hill, and I've been also here and there continue playing Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds, and I've kind of hit a wall a little bit. I'm at level 50. Last time I think I was like, what, 42? So definitely not as much progress, but I'm starting to see the money grabbing parts in the later half of the game, which, if we do talk about, I don't know if we want to talk about the whole Diablo Immortal thing, but it's kind of relevant to that because it's
sounds like a segue to me. Let's go.
Yeah.
God damn it, you had to do it. You just had to go there.
No,
well, I mean,
I'm not
we
gonna
might
have
want
anything to say about it. I don't know anything.
The other half of the people that are playing the game, that are actually playing the game.
You're telling me you can't afford $110,000 in microtransactions?
God damn.
Someone has paid for something?
They say in the current economy, that's how much it takes to get to like max and game
to get max, to be able to
buy everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought someone had already like cut
They
the
just
check.
they
No.
calculated it.
everything.
Yeah.
They calculated it.
Oh, okay.
They really like Blizzard games.
Yeah.
They just-
But in the Ni no Kuni game, they have a material called teratite. It's like a little diamond. It's not a paid currency. It's just a material that's used to upgrade everything. And like your whole everything you do increases your combat power score. So like when you upgrade your familiars, when you upgrade your gear, and there's several ways you can level up your gear, like 1 through 30, and then there's a star level, and then if you have duplicates, because it's a gotcha game, you can, if you have the same weapon, you can like fuse them together and upgrade that tier level, and it all increases your CP, your combat score. But you get to a certain point where everything you do requires tetrite. So to craft new gear, because you can craft gear, but it costs a recipe, it costs weapon parts and tetrite. Now I have like 4,000 weapon parts and armor parts because it drops on everything, and I have a ton of recipes, but I have like 10 tetrite, so I can't craft more, and I think I get 30 a day for
Wait,
doing dailies.
So where's the pay to win part or pay to play part come in though? Like,
There is a PvP. There's three forms of PvP. There's a familiar battle arena, so your familiars, you can make a team of 5 and battle them against each other. There's a 3v3 PvP, which is team based, and then there is a 1v1 PvP. And apparently, for this, at least for the solo PvP, the higher you rank, the more tetrite you get.
Mm-hmm.
And so you use the tetrite to upgrade your gear. You use that to boost the stats of your familiars, because you can level them up, but they also have gummies that you can feed them that that boost their HP, defense, and attack. So that's there, and then there's like a skill tree upgrade thing. It looks like constellations, and you go boom boom, and then once you get to a certain part, it costs star energy and a specific star and then tetrite. So I mean, you're seeing a pattern here. Once you get to a higher skill, you have to get that tetrite. The problem is that the drops are terrible. You can kind of get it naturally, but it doesn't drop often, and you have to go to where it's a chaos field, where it's like higher level monsters, to grind for it. And there's like a little thing I don't know if there's a specific potion that you can buy that makes you drop tetrite faster, but you get like a certain amount of tetrite energy a day, and you're capped at 21,000. I haven't figured out how to use anything. I think when you go to the chaos field and it drops for you, it lowers it.
Uh-huh.
But
wait, hold on, I don't think you've really gotten to the part where you say that it's starting to cost money to keep playing the game though.
Yeah, I'm getting to so
okay.
So
Long transition.
there is a shop that has a tons of bundles, right? So you can buy gear, you can buy materials, you can buy potions that make things drop faster. Like there's energy drinks that make you drop gold faster. There's these little essence things that make you drop soul shards and other things that increase your CP faster. And stuff like world bosses and field bosses and large bosses have a level where if you're not at that recommended level, you're going to get wiped, and you can kind of get some participation stuff, but it's not great. So it's really hard to like get forward, like continue progressing forward, if you're not either constantly grinding or buying the potions to make stuff drop easier. And like it has an AFK mode.
You got me in the beginning of the story that started like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah. I'm sorry. I was just trying to explain.
you got me like really hung up on this titrite or tetrite thing, and I thought it was gonna be something that you had to buy or something that like that eventually. You were like
You
focusing
can
on
be.
tetrite like a lot,
Well,
so I
you
thought it was
can't
gonna be
buy it, but
important.
you can't buy it directly. That's the thing. You have to buy other stuff to make it drop faster. Actually, I can just check the store real quick to see if I can actually buy it directly. But like I set my character in the area where that it's supposed to drop, and you can go AFK grinding for 4 hours. I left my guy in there for 4 hours while I was at work, and it dropped like 5. So
I still don't really understand how.
Welcome to mobile gaming. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck do you want?
yeah, it's a clusterfuck. I have limited
Yeah.
inventory
Have you
space.
considered not playing games on your phone?
Well, I mean, some of them aren't bad, but
let me attempt to give a TLDR for this. At a certain point, at a certain point in Nino Kuni,
it just gets hard to progress.
yeah, like the resources that you need to progress get scarce, and if you pay money,
Yes.
you get those resources faster.
Yeah,
I
and
think we could
you
put
get yeah,
at the
and you
25 mark we could put like a
You mean like
disclaimer
any
saying skip
MMO?
yeah. Well,
Or
I mean, not all
anything?
MMOs are like that. I mean, and only the free to play ones. But I mean,
you
it's just sucks because like it's actually a fun game. It's just it's bogged down by,
yeah, because
like
it's a
Okay.
mobile game.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So hold on. This is kind of going back to like the paid service or the uh, live service games that we were talking about like a few episodes
Yeah.
ago. My thing is like, it's a free game, and I don't know if you can complain about it like having to pay money after you've played it for like how many hours already for a free game. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it's like it's the price the price of the stuff is just I don't have a problem if it's a good
Have you
game
have
giving
you
money
bought any
to
of
it.
it?
I haven't bought any of it. But like I'm getting to a point where I feel like I'm not progressing anymore because I haven't spent any money.
But how many hours have you put into it already?
I don't
Is
know.
that a
A lot
timer?
of it is passive
I mean, you just
gameplay.
said you had 4 hours AFK, so you have more than that.
Well, yeah, but that's a like it's literally an AI
Yeah,
mode,
but
right?
like it's like any game. Like it'll count. It'll give you
Yeah,
count.
like I'll go to a field and then put it on auto fight and then turn the game off, and for 4 hours a day you can let it just farm up gear and stuff for you while you're doing other crap. But like there so the shop has bundles. It has a check-in pass, a premium check-in pass. You can buy diamonds. It also has gotcha mechanics for familiars, gear, and cosmetics. So like you can't just get those things like straight away. Like you have to buy into gotcha to get a chance to get like a higher tier thing. So it's like literally like throwing every single possible money grabbing tactic.
Yeah.
But I guess Netmarble is like a notorious for that stuff, according to the Discord.
I don't know. I have some friends playing that game, and I think if I could play for like I don't know a certain amount of hours for free, I think I'd be fine with it. Um, yeah. But how about that Sonic game though? Sega had a
You can
what?
presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, Sega
No,
had a presentation yesterday. I don't know if anybody watched it, but I can give.
I did. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, because okay, so for me being my ignorant self, I did not watch it, but the only thing I got out of it was that it seems to be, and I'll probably I'll probably defer to you, Alvaro, to give a little more info. But I
Mhm.
know from like the outside, the only thing I really saw was like people posting like clips or a screenshot of the Sonic game, and people in general on Twitter at least seem to not or seem to be disappointed a little bit, like visually or graphically. But,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, you can yeah take it away. Give some more context for this conference.
Oh well, I don't know any other game or like character that has their own show. I mean, I know it's only 10 minutes long, but they're like, these are all the products with Sonic Space on it, and it's like pups and shirts and pretty much all the merch you can think of. And then obviously the games, they're like releasing all the old games digitally. I think it's already out. And obviously they have a new 3D game coming out.
Hmm. That's what I saw.
Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, Sonic Frontiers comes out this year. Initially, when they teased it a while back, people thought it'd be like the next, big open world game, and now they've shown off a little bit more of it, and because the internet tends to get their expectations, sky high, those expectations were not met. So when you see the game for what it actually is, it's not. I mean, you get excited, I guess, and you know,
Yeah.
then reality hits you in the face. But I myself wasn't. I didn't really care for it. Like I wasn't interested in it at all from the beginning. So I mean, I can understand why the Sonic fan base feels like they need a game or whatever.
Yeah, they're hungry.
Because they haven't had a good 3D game. I would say ever. Because I mean,
That's
I
what
like
I've
Sonic
heard.
Adventure, but
Sonic
That's what I've heard.
Legends
Yeah.
or Sonic. What's the one on the Dreamcast?
Sonic Adventure.
Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Yes.
Those are probably the best instance of 3D Sonic.
How long ago
Yeah,
was that?
but
The
that
long
was 20
time
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
1999.
Yeah, that's it. That's they haven't had the taste of the good stuff in
We have a
long
lot of
time.
younger viewers, and they're gonna be like, "What?
What the hell?
I don't think.
What's a Dreamcast?"
What's
Yeah.
1999?
Well, Sega also they announced their mini hardware that we kind of talked about. It was Mega Drive 2.
Yeah, that was cool.
Plus Sega CD.
Explain that.
It was not a Dreamcast.
No,
Well, you said it was not a Dreamcast,
it was not the Dreamcast.
but you wanted it to be.
I mean, the Dreamcast has a lot of games that have gotten ported over to mini systems in the past that are popular. I would like. I think there's a market for it.
I don't think there is.
But I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's essentially the Mega Drive 2 is just Genesis 2, right? In America, it was the Genesis 2.
Well, I mean,
don't.
it's the 32X.
Yeah, I find it weird that they're charging separate for the Sega CD. Like it's two separate things. I get it was two separate things like originally, but you think they would just like sell it together for one price? Not you can get this one and you can get this one.
You want bargains on your video games?
I don't know. It's a weird choice. I'm sure they will sell it together as a bundle, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Sega had a lot of stuff. The Sonic Origins looks cool. Anybody that liked those old Sonic games.
When I saw the Sonic Frontier, like that whatever article or whatever, it was an article, whatever post that I saw that went viral because like people were like trashing on the Frontiers game. The only thing I saw was like they're making an open world Sonic game, and my first thought was like, why? Like why do they have to make Sonic an open world game?
Exactly.
Yeah, like
I mean,
It has to be open world.
I know every franchise doesn't have to be an open world game. You know, I was even
I don't know if we're talking about something like Breath of the Wild, which obviously it's inspired off of because that inspired a whole new generation of open world games.
Okay, I think it depends where you stop though, because like
No.
because I mean, I don't know what came out for God of War came out after Breath of the Wild,
After.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I would say that the phenomenon of open world games seems to be attributed to or credited to Ubisoft.
Well,
seems-
yeah, but the thing is that there's a difference between the Ubisoft open worlds and what Breath of the Wild did and kind of brought forward, because Ubisoft is like the really oversaturated maps with just shit everywhere, and Breath of the Wild kind of brought this like minimalist gameplay where you don't have like a huge HUD and there's not like a ton of like waypoints everywhere. You just kind of go out and explore, and it still has like those same core mechanics, but it's just not in your face.
I
and
see
and
what you're saying.
yeah, it was just like a refining of the open world, not like a redo or anything, but it kind of brought like a second wave of style to open world games from like that point.
Okay,
Um,
I can see what you're saying, man. Because the only other game that I can think of that could be described as that would be like Elden Ring, that I could think of right now.
Yeah.
Um,
and you have Kirby now, which
okay.
That's open world.
The new Kirby. I mean, it's
Come on.
it's like
You're
halfway.
you're stretching it a little there.
It's halfway. It's like steps. It's baby steps towards open world. I don't think the Sonic Frontier looks bad. Like, I get they're hungry and they want a good game, and I think that's just it. They want them to delay the game. They want the game better,
Yeah.
and
But I don't think that's not how
but
that works though. These
I
are the
mean,
mechanics. This is how it looks. This is the world.
It looked
yeah.
fine to me. I actually thought it looked like a fun game to play. So
Yeah,
I kind of don't know what people are talking about.
I think if they added a little bit more of interactive stuff for Sonic to do, just
Then
if
it
they
becomes
get
an Ubisoft game. And that's like,
no, not like HUD stuff, but just like
What does
just
Sonic
terrain.
need to do? He's Sonic. What does he need to do?
Yeah,
He rolls and he collects rings.
dude.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah,
That's my thing. I'm like, not every franchise needs to be turned into an open world game where there's like a
No.
bunch of like a whole lot minute like moments or like a whole bunch of squirreling moments to do or a whole bunch of Ghost of Tsushima golden birds to follow or something. You know what I mean? Like this.
Hey, those things worked. Okay, they did their job.
No,
I'm
it
not saying
was-
it didn't work, but I'm just saying like it's like the mentality where the game maker needs to like I don't know, flash like a bunch of. I don't know, I'm thinking like Vegas.
Here's this
Yeah.
thing. Here's
Yeah,
this thing over here.
I'm thinking
I
like
mean,
Las
Elden Ring does
Vegas.
that too.
I'm thinking like Las Vegas, where you're just like walking down like the road, and there's like just people trying to grab your attention, like come into our store, come into our
Here's
store.
booby cards,
Yeah,
booby trading cards.
Take my picture.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's like the goal
I-
for some developers, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's one of those retention rate things. For what it's worth, though, I do think for Sonic there is some fun that I think, if done right, you could do a really good open world Sonic game. But it has to be just like, it has to be fun to like run around in it, right? But maybe they wanted something more than just an empty plane, because if you look through the Sonic games, there's a lot of different worlds and they're like really colorful
Yeah.
and cool designs.
Yeah.
And I think they could make an open world that is like some of those other worlds.
Just have different areas.
Yeah, and it, like, instead of making everything look like exactly like Breath of the Wild, because that's what it's kind of looking like.
Yeah.
They could
that's the
they
thing.
can make an open version of Emerald Hills. That's just,
Mhm.
with all the ramps and just make it a less like Breath of the Wild, more like Tony Hawk, if that makes sense. Like a Tony Hawk open world game where you're just like running around and doing stunts and just like having fun. Like,
Was it American Wasteland the kind of open world? I mean, it's been a while.
yeah, it kind of was. Yeah, and actually I really enjoyed that game on the Cube. Like, that's one of my favorite Tony Hawk games.
That was also
But
20
yeah,
years ago.
but I mean, do you understand? I don't know.
No, yeah, no,
I
understand,
think
yeah.
that would be a really good way to take Sonic open world, is just have like a fun part. You can, I mean, Chemical Zone, like, you can do some pretty cool stuff. He has
Casino Night.
they have the art team in the environments. They just need to translate it.
Yeah.
I watched that 7-minute gameplay, and at the very end, their version of the towers that you climb up to scan the area,
Yeah.
it was a hamster wheel. You run on the hamster wheel till it charges up, and then it goes. Choo, the energy disperses and scans the area. Which
Nice.
I thought it was funny.
just
Yeah.
leave Sonic alone.
See, okay, yeah. I mean,
Let it die.
I
No,
mean,
not
they
let it
can.
die, but just make
Look.
Sonic games how Sonic games should
They
be.
tr-
Like, I don't
they
need to
tried
remember.
that.
Right again.
I don't
They
need
tried
to.
that with Sonic 4. It didn't work out either. They can't. I think they forgot how to make a good Sonic game. To be honest.
Yeah, at this point he's just a character from Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a
It's
really
the
good
best game that he's been
in a
in.
long time. Yeah, it's true.
They had that one game a few years ago. Was Sonic Mania,
Yeah.
which
I
I
heard
heard
that
was
was good.
pretty good,
I
but
heard that
that
was really
was
good.
also that was headed by fans though, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't originally.
So was 4, wasn't it?
No, a fan. Sonic 4 was the episodic one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. I didn't think it was that bad, but a lot of people didn't like it because of the lock-on mechanics that they kind of added onto it.
Sonic Mania was good. I liked that one. I still have it on the PS4.
Yeah.
But Sonic Origins looks cool,
I'm
and
probably
it
like
has
the
a
least
bunch of.
qualified to talk about Sonic here, but the new
I
game
mean,
looks good, though,
I'm not a huge
so.
Sonic fan. I just kind of, I've dabbled with Sonic a little bit here and there as a kid. I'm not a huge Sonic fan. I can appreciate it for what it is. And I just want, I want Sonic fans to get the game they're hoping for, but I just don't think Sega knows how to do that.
I think it's just hard to translate 2D to 3D, especially that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I mean, they can make a really refined 2D game too, but again, I don't think they know how to do that either. I think Sega's a little. They've been lost for a while, but Sonic is making a
Well, that's why they
resurgent.
rely on yeah, well, thanks to the movies.
Yeah.
But they rely on what now? What is it? The Yakuza.
Yeah, but even then, the director for Yakuza left. I think he went to Microsoft.
You? No, I'm kidding. I don't care.
I think Sonic just needs a gritty reboot.
A gritty reboot. Okay.
Like honestly, that's all it sounds like. Like the movie version of gritty superheroes is that's what it sounds like. We need to make everything open world.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hate nerds.
Yeah.
If done properly, it will be a good game. But I don't think Sega can afford to postpone that game. They're not Nintendo.
No.
So yeah, and then continuing on the theme of the Summer Games Fest, what are your guys' thoughts about what Jeff Keighley tweeted, where he said basically manage expectations? Because I think to be honest, like I was kind of expecting at least like a new reveal from someone, but he's kind of implying that that's not going to happen.
I think there will be one or two.
Yeah.
I think. But I think he's a good hype man.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I think
Yeah.
I think
that's the problem.
yeah,
So-
I think he
He's
felt like
the P.T. Barnum of the circus.
yeah, I think he felt like he hyped it up too much that when he
Yeah.
started seeing what people are saying, he's afraid that it's not going to deliver now.
I think it could also be that, you know, perhaps like time and time again, nerds will just like overestimate things, right? Because like not like our imaginations are just like way high all the time, right? To a point where like it's almost impossible to satisfy us, right? And then so maybe he was just trying to knock us down so that we could still get like impressed and surprised. You know what I mean? That I mean, I'm hoping that's what's happening, and I think that it could be the case. It's hard for me to believe that studios and publishers don't have anything new to show if there's no E3 happening this year. You know what I mean? Because everyone pretty much prepares like this time of year to have something to you know, stay relevant basically.
Yeah, I just think that I think he realized that it's easier to go above lowered expectations than to meet sky high expectations. And I think this is like pre-damage control that he's just trying to do just to get everyone lower. So what the new stuff that they are going to show, they're going to show something tomorrow that they have to. But I think that he's trying to lower the bar that way the people could be like, oh my God, he said we weren't showing anything. And now they showed it.
Yes. I that's
one last thing.
That's where I'm at too.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't either. That's
Yeah.
great. He's doing a service to consumers and the publishers at the same time.
Yeah.
He's doing a public service, but at the same time, I think he's not looking a fool, but he's look like he looks like he's backpedaling a little bit off of what he was originally sounding like he was promising for the show.
Well, I think they just want he wants Summer Games Fest to be a thing, right? So that's he's like, oh, I gotta sell this, and he sold it. He really sold it, and then he's like, shit,
I oversold it. I oversold it.
And as far as managing expectations, I agree with that. We should all do that. I kind of stopped trying to. Around this time of the year, I shut off the hype social media stuff because it's either rumors, leaks, or just ridiculous hype and speculation. And I found going in without any of that makes it much more enjoyable. And it's kind of the gaming industry as a whole, right? That's the issue because the industry is built on hype, and that's how it's been for decades. And I don't think it's going to change. But the only issue I had was the little like non-comment was like, this isn't the Game Awards, and I was like, but this is the time of the year where we're announcing stuff. Like, this is when we want the big reveals. Like, the Game Awards is just awards, and they put the reveals in to get people to watch. But like, there's nothing happening in summer. A lot of times there's not a lot of games to play. So like, this has always been the time where, show us something to get excited for the winter, right?
Yeah.
And
it's not so much that I think it's. Is it true? Do you guys think it's true that there's like less new stuff to play during the summer? I'm not sure if that's true. It is. Or...
Yeah, usually the release calendar in the summers, because like everyone's trying to make money in the fall, right? Because you got the holidays, you got Thanksgiving, Black Friday kind of stuff. So like like the quarterlies are always in around that time.
Okay.
So like in the middle of this quarter, Q2, which is summer, it's usually pretty dry.
Okay.
Traditionally.
Yeah, they usually you'll see a lot of like multiplayer games in Q2, stuff that gets kids like engaged for a couple months. Like Splatoon is going to be dropping in Q2, so stuff like that you'll see.
Isn't Q2 almost over though?
No, because
Q4. They're
because
it starts in March.
Yeah. Q4 is like December, starts December, so it's usually
be August.
Yeah, so
June, July, August, or Q2.
Yeah.
I mean, besides that fact, though, I guess I agree with you guys. Then, after hearing you guys out, like besides the fact that like there's less games to play in the summer, I think it's like maybe publishers or maybe people don't think that they should, follow the tradition of like releasing news during the summer, but I think it's actually beneficial to them to release during the summer because I guess that's like kind of what we've already been doing, right? Like you kind of want to surround your game news with other people's game news because everyone's paying attention to game news at the same time, right? So
are there any other like studios that are scheduled to do conferences and stuff besides Microsoft?
We have Microsoft, one, right? We have Capcom.
Yeah.
I know Nintendo. There was that leaked email. So maybe next week.
Yeah.
We probably will know maybe a day or two in advance.
I feel like maybe they want to save their shit for their stuff, like so people watch.
Yeah, that's the thing
their conferences. Like, why are they gonna let him have all the cool stuff, and then all you're doing is just repeating all the info that he gave out at his show? So I wonder if that's the case where he thought he was going to get more stuff to show during his thing, and then they kind of pulled back a little, like, well, we want to save this for ours.
Do you think that's kind of similar how Sony ended up pulling out of E3 like years ago? Like, why don't we just show our stuff like during our own thing?
I just think I think because of the position Sony was at the time with PS4, they didn't have really anything to show. So there's no point in buying expensive floor space for the same games that they were talking about for what, like 2 years straight,
Yeah,
3 years straight.
but they kind of backed off. Wasn't it like 3 years in a row that they didn't do E3?
Nintendo
Was
Yeah.
it? It was like
Nintendo
three,
didn't
right?
do it, but well, Nintendo wasn't doing like their own like presser thing. They haven't done a live presser in a lot of time, but they were just kind of dropping their stuff during the time, and then they would have a floor presence. But I think COVID is still a lingering effect on the industry this year too. Obviously, that's I mean I don't know if that's why EA Play isn't a thing, but I know that they have less to show this year than they've ever had before, and I think that's why EA is not doing anything at all this year. Um, or maybe they might wait until later in the year when they have more to show.
All their teams on the
Um,
bug fixing team for Battlefield.
yeah, they're not going to hold an event for their sports games that
Wait,
nobody cares about,
hold
and
on,
they don't
hold on.
have.
That's not true though, right? Because aren't they going to show their Dragon Age? That's EA, right?
They have stuff, but I
They
don't
announced
think
it. I don't
I
think they
think
have
they're
the trailer
just
or anything.
yeah, they're not doing a dedicated like hour-long thing is what I'm saying. They have
Hmm.
some stuff, but they're not doing a whole presser. They're not doing their, go out and test all the games in a parking lot thing. They have a very small presence this year. Because I don't know how much they have to show, but I think Dragon Age was on one of my things that I was guessing that they would show when we talked about it last
Yeah,
week, wasn't it?
yeah. I think it was it last week, but yeah,
Yeah.
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 There probably will be more announcements um, through the week, and I think how long is Summer Games Fest supposed to go? The whole month, right?
It's like a whole month. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I
So we
personally don't like that, but I think it works out better for like the smaller publishers though. So I can't
It's
say
a whole
anything.
month.
oh when was the
Yeah,
Devolver Digital
yeah.
event?
I think that next week too.
Their stuff is always entertaining,
And
even
that's
if it
actually
is all smaller games.
that's actually kind of like my biggest gripe about the Summer Games Fest was like compared to E3. E3 is just like a weekend of like uh, big conferences, which I kind of
Mhm.
like because I could just like focus for a week and then I kind of had like content to think about after just one weekend. Um, but I guess I can't really criticize the month long thing because it seems like like an oversaturation, like because I have to pay attention for too long to like these
Yeah.
smaller publishers. But at the same time, it helps out the smaller publishers like Devolver Digital, and
Yeah,
I think that's a
it
good
says
thing in general.
Devolver's thing's at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's
tomorrow.
well.
Yeah,
Then
See,
3 o'clock.
our Fall Guys
we'll have
update.
extra stuff to talk about tomorrow.
And then Friday it's the IGN Expo, the Netflix Geek Week for their games.
That's the second
That's
time
it.
you've almost fallen off your chair.
I know this chair. I want to lean back.
All right.
Continue.
Yeah, continue. My bad.
I mean, I'm just looking at the schedule. They have it on the website right now.
On Summer Games Fest website.
No, it's on Polygon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they have the. It only looks like there's like 2 or 3 things a day right now.
I mean, in last year when they did Summer Games Fest, you can go on the website and they would have like, I think daily stuff they would drop, and then they were like, oh yeah, there's this conference coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah, they only have stuff listed till Tuesday, and then the schedule ends.
Okay. Yeah, and I think there's the issue too. Like, we're probably gonna see. Hopefully, we'll see more from Sony. We've already seen a little bit from them. We're gonna see Microsoft on Sunday, and then Nintendo next week, and that's all we have now because Bethesda's part of Microsoft. Ubisoft, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're not in the best place right now, so I don't know what they have to show. They might just piggyback off of everybody else, like they kind of do. You know, Nintendo will show the Rabbids Mario game, and maybe there might be like an XCOM or a new Assassin's Creed, and they'll throw that in Microsoft show. And there might be some other like Tom Clancy game at tomorrow's Summer Games Fest
Like
show.
a Division update or something.
Yeah.
Don't we supposed to have a new one, like a
Yeah, there is, right? Like
one?
Yeah, I thought there was. Yeah.
Forgot what it's called. But yeah, there's supposed to be another
Division 3.
Lower those expectations.
Maybe,
Yeah.
And
maybe,
we'll get.
maybe they have an update for that X Defiant game that they announced last year too.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one you're talking about. Okay, because that one,
Yeah.
Lewis and I played it, and it kind of wasn't that good. But I think the balance was like kind of bad. But I don't know if they decided to like just scrap it or try to improve it. But I haven't heard anything from that game.
They might, because looking at stuff like the Prince of Persia remake, that's probably not even coming out anytime soon or ever. So yeah, Ubisoft is not in the best place.
I read it got postponed possibly forever.
What, X Defiant or Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia, the remake.
Postponed indefinitely. Yes.
I said possibly forever.
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, they need to go back to the drawing board. Yes, with everything.
Perhaps.
You know,
maybe it's starting to get unreasonable to think that like studios can pump out games like they used to, considering like people kind of require games to be way more demanding or like way more built out than they used to.
All have
right?
to be
That's
open.
they're taking longer.
They all have to be open
longer.
world, so it takes more time.
Yeah,
I know.
well,
Jonathan called Fallen Order not a AAA game like a few weeks ago. Like, think
but
about that.
It's a smaller budget game, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so I don't think it is a AAA game. I think it was a AA game.
But you're basically saying
Fallen
that
Order?
games should have like ridiculous budgets to get.
No. I don't think it's not necessary. But I mean, even then, is it Sega or is it who's the one that's working on the Super game? The Super game. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you guys heard anything about that?
It's called Super.
No.
Right now it's like codenamed Super Game. It's supposed to be like not like a quadruple A game, and I think
the Oasis.
I think it is Sega, and they're using Microsoft. What is their cloud service? Is Azure?
xCloud.
Azure.
Or Azure is their cloud service that they can sell for like
networking.
So they want to create
like we can rent our Azure servers if we want.
I don't know if it's
Jonathan, it is Sega.
It is Sega.
Yeah.
So they want to use the power of Microsoft Azure, like cloud processing, to make this really big cohesive game. Like, and I think it's supposed to be. I think it's in vein with that metaverse thing that everybody's chasing right now.
You know what? That was something that Xbox was trying to market like a couple of years ago, but I guess it never caught on because I guess not enough people cared about it. They were trying to say that you can develop games on Xbox that kind of offloaded some of this compute power to the cloud, which is what Crackdown 3 did. But it turned out that I guess that game wasn't received well. But that game, like the destruction in that game, it would like
Crackdown.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, you could do your actions like on your client on your local machine, and then it would like send up the data to the cloud, and then it would kind of like compute like how the building was supposed to break down, and then it would send it back, and it would break down on your local machine. So, but I mean,
they wanted to cover 5 years of stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's supposed.
I know.
What I think it's just supposed to be a massive game that's pulling in a bunch of smaller game franchises into one huge world.
It sounds like you're describing the Oasis right now, like from Ready Player One.
They want that's pretty much
5 years.
Yeah. But let's be real though, because Sony already did that. like they did PlayStation Home. That
Oh, okay.
that's pretty much what everybody's chasing now.
Do you think they
I,
would bring that back?
dude, I think they should bring it back. I think they should
I
take
mean, I think it
what they
would be a hit for
learned.
sure.
Yeah, like I think they should bring it back. They take what they learned, what they already know, and just improve it because what systems are now and what they can do with it is so much more than what they were doing with the PS3, and they were doing a lot with the PS3.
That game already
I
exists though. It's called VR Chat.
What?
well, yeah, but
No, but this wasn't VR though.
no, but I mean, did you play with PlayStation Home at all when you had a PS3? You guys? I mean, I know
I
Alvaro
did.
did.
I did.
I know we both did.
Yeah, I was
because
totally into
PlayStation
it.
Home?
Yeah,
Yeah. I did occasionally, probably not as much as you guys, but I messed around with it every once in a while.
I think there was some really good ideas that they kind of never really did anything with, and it just kind of became like a hub to just like Second Life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but they could. That's pretty much what the metaverse is, though, right? And they can do it. They can take PlayStation Home and do it better. And I think there would be a market for that. And if they enable VR into it as well, like that's a selling point right there. If they can get PlayStation Home 2 and it be a thing
VR
and be
too.
like with VR and you're in like it sells itself, I think.
That would be neat.
Is this like one of
I
those
think that's gonna be their
things-
push this year. If they do, if Sony does
VR?
a show this year, yeah, it'll be
VR.
VR focused.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see a lot of small stuff from Sony. I don't think. I think we're gone of the hour-long Sony press conferences.
It's all state of plays
Unfortunately,
every
yeah.
once in a while.
You know what? Like Sony always came up with a good show. Like, and that's the sad part. Like they always brought their A game for like E3.
Always. I remember that one year that they finagled with that stupid wands.
the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That was the
No, it was
the-
like the fairy tale book or something.
yeah. Well, there was
Wonder Book.
yeah, but that was one of them was a
That was
Harry
PS3
Potter thing,
era.
wasn't it? The Move, the PlayStation Move,
Yeah. I just
which
remembered
actually
that it felt like that
PlayStation
dude
Move was
that it felt like that dude was up there for fucking 25 minutes trying to get that stupid thing to work.
for what it was better. It was more intuitive than the Kinect and the Wii, but it wasn't utilized very well.
Like my Vita.
Yeah. Hopefully we see some good stuff this in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I think the VR tech is there, and I think for it to become like more adopted, I guess. Yeah, I think someone has to convince us a good reason to use it. You know what I mean? Because it's not like it's bad tech, but we basically need like a Steve Jobs up there and be like, you need to play this game.
Can you watch movies on the VR
if
too?
you don't play this, you're gonna
Yes.
be nobody.
Like on the PS4 VR, you can watch 3D movies in 3D.
And it looks like you're watching it, all right?
Yeah.
I remember I had it was like 4 phones ago when the Samsung Galaxy phones came with that little VR headset.
Yeah.
You had to like slide your phone in. They had a Netflix app that it pretty much looked like a theater,
VR.
and you put the headset on and you could just watch the movie. But
That
I
was-
wasn't a fan.
That VR was my favorite because it's one of my favorite stories to tell when we talk about VR when Jessica was using it and she was in the Sharks and then I came up and I shook her and she fucking spazzed out and fell on the floor.
There's a future that I'm kind of afraid of. Is I don't know how much of Cyberpunk that any of you have played, but there's like a bunch of scenarios in that game where like you like pop into a club, you freaking kill everybody, right? And then like when you're done killing everybody, you're like walking around looting, and you realize like there's some people in like these private rooms that are just like wearing a VR headset, and they have no idea that you're there.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why
and they're like,
I
they're
will
like
never
bad.
adopt VR. I don't think.
Yeah, they're like bad guys, right? And then like if they weren't wearing their VR headset, they would have been like trying to kill you too. But then you realize like they're just totally in their own world and they have no idea what's going on in the real world.
Yeah, because I remember
That-
we did that in I think it was that first year they did the PlayStation experience. That's when they had the first VR headset.
Yep.
And I thought it was cool for like a setting that I'm being monitored, but I would never want to. I don't like being that closed off to all my senses here at home. Like if I had the headphones on and the thing on, like I have this nightmare that I would probably like be robbed while I'm playing whatever game. Like I take the headset off and everything's gone because I saw nothing.
All your clothes are gone. You're naked.
Yeah, because I saw nothing. I heard nothing. So like I'm too paranoid to commit to VR. But that's me.
I think they need more. They need to sell it as more than a gimmick because that's what it feels like right now. Like the tech is there, but it's not really being utilized for much, and I think that's the issue. There's not.
But what do you want out of it?
I don't know. Should give me whole games, like not just tech demos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of those.
I have no idea what it can take.
I don't know. Like I don't know what I want out of it, but it just right now it just doesn't feel like it's really being used for much of anything. But besides, like, hey, look, this is cool. Try this out. Like I want it.
Yeah, like for me, it was a cool one-off, but other than that, like it's whatever to me.
And the fact that it's like you have to drop $400 on it, plus have a assistant, which we're retreading on last week, but that's a barrier to entry. Like,
are we just old now? Like, are kids gonna be playing this VR like nothing, and then we're gonna be the old people?
Oh yeah, it'll be no big deal to them.
Yeah. But I want it though. Is
this how my parents felt when I was like just playing normal console games? They're like, I don't understand these video games. All these little kids are just.
I think the difference is that we're not sitting over there and be like, that's dumb. You know what I mean? Like, or like, super adverse to it. Like, I do want it to succeed. I just feel like it's being underutilized, and I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you mean by underutilized though? Because I think it's pretty available now to people. I think people are just choosing not to use the VR at this point because there's nothing very.
It still feels pretty niche. Like you buy into it and it's gonna be like a fun like demo thing, but like maybe you're not gonna get like a whole like a complete experience. Like if you were to just buy a PS5 and get like a PS5 game, it's gonna be like a fully realized experience, right? Because that's what PlayStation's about. But I don't think you're gonna necessarily get that same kind of thing out of a VR game. I mean, maybe like here and there, but I don't think there's enough to justify that purchase yet.
They can sit with everyone's 3D TVs.
That was another thing I wanted. I wanted a 3D TV. Like I wanted that to be a thing. I'm a little sad, but I'm not surprised.
Can sit next to my 3D TV and my Vita.
I think I don't think VR is the future. I think AR is going to be a much bigger presence in gaming than VR.
I also feel like you lose the potential of like a social aspect if it's like two of you here and one of you has the headset. I feel like it's a different experience, like as opposed to all of us just like sitting in the same room watching someone play.
Because then what's the alternative? It's gonna become like Sword Art Online where we're all like in pods right next to each other.
Yeah.
Or like
I want to believe.
Or what's that movie? Surrogate.
Oh yeah.
Didn't see it.
They were all in robots, but they were in little pods. The Bruce Willis one.
Yeah.
It is, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Where
they were in pods and they were controlling androids, but essentially, I mean, you can go. Maybe they'll have like VR cafes where you can just go in and your friends can like rent it out for a couple hours and then go play games together, like cyber cafes used to be.
I just don't think that it's for me. That's all. Not because I'm old, but I just don't think that it's something that enjoy. Like, it was cool doing it for those like 10 minutes, but it's kind of like Jonathan and Madden. Like, he could play one game a season and he's fine and perfectly okay. Like, that would be me with VR. I try it once for 10 or 15 minutes and then I'm good for till the next one comes out.
If we get those fancy AR glasses, then it's kind of the best of both worlds, though, right? Because you can kind of project stuff onto the real world. You're not taking away from your senses, maybe distracting a little bit, but I mean, games are distracting when you're, you know,
Yeah.
they're blinders, but you could still hear and see around you and still interact with the people around you, and it'll probably be a lot cheaper to implement, so the barrier to entry will be lower.
Watch that bridge when I get there.
And there's already a lot of good uses for AR.
Is
Mostly
there,
in the mobile
though?
space. I mean,
Because I'm really trying to think actually. Because with AR,
Like
I mean, they have Pokemon Go, they have that
Yeah,
Minecraft
that's-
game and the Harry Potter. Basically, they do the same thing. But
yeah, it's all the same. The Niantic is
yeah.
all the same. I mean,
and then
I
think about it,
think-
like how often do you think people actually turn off that AR stuff anyway to just play like a normal game?
yeah,
You know. I mean,
but I
Snapchat
think it's
does
because you have to go
technically
like
AR
this, right? And you have to go around. But if it was just like a pair of like not like prescription glasses, but like sunglasses that you just like throw on, and it's like an overlay.
Yeah.
It's and maybe like a motion controller, like to do stuff.
I mean, I guess
Or-
the
or
best
bracelets.
use of AR that I've seen, and it's like not even like that crazy or useful really, is like just Snapchat and Instagram filters. You know,
Yeah,
that's technically AR, but
I think
I don't
there's
know
a
how
lot
they
of
apply that
untapped
to games.
potential there.
I don't know. It's been Snapchat has been doing that for years now. That
No, I
AR
know.
stuff,
I
and
meant just AR in
it's-
general. I think
yeah,
I
don't
think
know.
it's gonna take a creative mind to like implement it in a way that will get people. It's the same with VR though, right? It's gonna take a creative mind to figure out a way that's gonna get people to say that looks cool. I want to do it more than just once.
I can get on board with that. I agree with that. Yeah. So we went from Sonic to Jeff Keighley to VR today in our episode, and I think that's a good place to cut off because we are going to do a lot of mini episodes. I think for the Summer Games Fest. That's when we're gonna have like a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah. Thank you everybody for listening this far, and make sure to tune in next time online when we all put on VR headsets and play Sonic Frontiers and puke.
Finally.
Hamster wheels.
Thank God.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, but before you go, please make sure to like and subscribe to our show, and leave a comment with whatever thoughts you may have. We record a new episode of Last Time Online every week, so keep an eye out for the latest episode. From time to time, we stream on Twitch, so if you would like to see how we act while we are gaming, go over to our channel and give us a follow. We are sponsored by Dubby Energy Drink. Dubby gives you the focus so that you can just be better at video games, all while having no jitters or crash. Click on the link in the description for a 10% discount on your orders on us. We love taking feedback from our audience, so if you have a question for us, you and your question could be featured in our next episode. Check links in the description for ways to reach us and also where to follow each of us on social media. See you next time online.